The evolution of Batman's costume. Hello and welcome to the Danger Zone. In today's episode, I will discuss the evolution of Batman's costume. Batman has been around for over 85 years, and its creators are Bob Kane and Bill Finger. He was first introduced in Detective Comics 27. Intro. Over the past 85 years, Batman's costume has changed significantly, from blue and gray trunks to the heavily armored bodysuit, but it has remained iconic. Costume in his first appearance. His costume consisted of a black mask, trunks, and cape. His bodysuit was gray and had a bat symbol on it. His black boots reached his calves. The final part of his costume was his yellow utility belt. Rainbow Batman. The Rainbow Batman costume is one of the most iconic Batman costumes. The reason behind Batman's very colorful costume was that he was trying to distract criminals from Robin's injured arm. He had several different colored costumes. He has red, blue, gold, orange, and green colored costumes. He also has a white and black target costume. The most iconic one was the Rainbow Batman costume. Adam West's Batman, 1966 TV series, the original Detective Comics inspired Adam West's Batman TV series costume. There are not many differences. The only difference is that the bat symbol has a yellow oval around it. Tim Burton's Batman. Tim Burton's Batman suit was mostly black and heavily armored. It first appeared in The Batman in 1989. The suit's cowl was black. He didn't have trunks, but he did have a bat symbol surrounded by a yellow oval. The suit had muscles designed into it. Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy took a realistic approach to Batman's costume. The batsuit looked like it could protect you from some attacks. The costume still had its core elements, like a bat symbol on the chest, or having the yellow utility belt around his torso. The batsuit was entirely black except for the utility belt. It was covered in body armor, but slimmer than Tim Burton's Batman suit. Zack Snyder's DCEU Batman. The batsuit was the biggest it had been in decades. The suit still had dark colors of black and gray. The utility belt was gray. The bat symbol on his chest was much bigger than its previous counterpart. Matt Reeves's The Batman, 2022. Matt Reeves' batsuit is smaller than Zack Snyder's DCEU batsuit. The bat symbol on the chest is also smaller. The entire batsuit is black. The batsuit was more realistic than some of the other versions of the batsuit. The suit has armor to protect Batman. The end. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.
The Rise of Harley Quinn. 30 Years of Mayhem, the complete history of Harley Quinn. From animated series to cultural icon, welcome to the Danger Zone. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating and complex history of one of DC Comics' most beloved and chaotic characters, Harley Quinn. From her humble beginnings as a one-off villain to becoming a cultural phenomenon spanning decades of comics, television, and film, Harley's journey is as wild and unpredictable as the character herself. The birth of an icon, creation, and early days. The year was 1992 when two creative visionaries changed the Batman universe forever. Paul Dini, the acclaimed writer, and Bruce Timm, the legendary animator and producer, conceived Harley Quinn for what would become one of the most influential animated series of all time, Batman, the animated series. Originally designed as nothing more than a throwaway henchwoman for the Joker in a single episode titled Joker's Favor, Harley was meant to be a one-and-done character who would disappear into animation history. But sometimes magic happens when you least expect it. The character's unique blend of childlike enthusiasm, dangerous unpredictability, and tragic vulnerability struck a chord with both audiences and creators. Her distinctive voice, brought to life by the incomparable Arlene Sorkin, gave Harley a personality that was simultaneously menacing and endearing. The creative team quickly realized they had stumbled upon something special, and Harley Quinn evolved from a background player into a recurring character, eventually becoming the Joker's primary sidekick and romantic partner. The inspiration for Harley came from an unexpected source: daytime soap operas. Dini drew from the melodramatic storytelling and complex character dynamics that define the genre, creating a character who embodied both the heightened emotions and tragic circumstances that made soap operas so compelling. This foundation would prove prophetic, as Harley's story would indeed become one of the most emotionally complex and dramatically rich narratives in the Batman mythos. 7 years after her animated debut, Harley made the crucial transition from screen to page. In 1999, she made her canonical comic book debut in Batman, Harley Quinn, cementing her place in the official DC universe and opening the door for decades of comic book adventures. The woman behind the makeup, Harleen Quinzel's origin story before she became the clown princess of crime. Harley Quinn was Dr. Harleen Frances Quinzel, a brilliant psychologist with a promising future ahead of her. Born and raised in the tough neighborhoods of Brooklyn, New York, Harleen was the eldest of 4 children in a working-class family. Despite the challenges of her upbringing, she excelled academically, earning recognition as an honor student throughout her educational journey. Harleen's athletic prowess was as impressive as her intellectual abilities. As a dedicated gymnast, she developed the physical skills that would later serve her well in her criminal career: exceptional agility, balance, and acrobatic abilities that would become signature elements of her fighting style. This athletic background also contributed to her mental discipline and competitive drive, traits that helped her succeed in her academic pursuits. Her path to Arkham Asylum began with genuine intentions to help others. As a qualified psychiatrist, Dr. Quinzel secured a position at Gotham City's most notorious psychiatric facility, where she hoped to make a difference in the lives of the city's most troubled individuals. Little did she know that this decision would fundamentally alter the course of her life. It was within the sterile walls of Arkham that Harleen first encountered the patient who would become both her greatest obsession and her ultimate downfall: the Joker. What began as a professional therapeutic relationship slowly transformed into something far more dangerous and complex. The Joker, a master manipulator, recognized Harleen's vulnerabilities, her desire to be needed, her fascination with extreme psychology, and perhaps most critically, her loneliness. Through a combination of psychological manipulation, feigned vulnerability, and calculated charm, the Joker gradually broke down Harleen's professional boundaries and personal defenses. The transformation from Dr. Quinzel to Harley Quinn wasn't sudden. It was a gradual descent into madness, orchestrated by one of fiction's greatest villains and enabled by a brilliant woman's tragic susceptibility to manipulation. The dark romance. Life with the Joker. The relationship between Harley Quinn and the Joker represents one of the most complex and troubling dynamics in comic book history. What many fans initially perceived as a twisted but romantic partnership has been consistently portrayed in the comics as a textbook example of an abusive relationship, complete with cycles of violence, manipulation, and false reconciliation. The Joker's treatment of Harley was consistently cruel and exploitative. He would physically abuse her, often beating her severely when she failed to meet his impossible standards or simply when the mood struck him. Beyond the physical violence, he would deliberately place her in life-threatening situations, using her as bait, a distraction, or simply as expendable muscle for his schemes. Perhaps most chillingly, there were numerous occasions where the Joker attempted to kill Harley outright, treating her life as nothing more than a punchline to one of his twisted jokes. Despite this horrific treatment, Harley's psychological conditioning and genuine feelings for the Joker kept her trapped in this cycle of abuse for years of publication time. The comics didn't shy away from depicting the psychological toll this relationship took on her, showing how trauma bonding and learned helplessness can trap even the most intelligent individuals in destructive relationships. However, character growth and evolving storytelling eventually led to one of the most important developments in Harley's character arc: her realization that the Joker was toxic and her decision to leave him. This wasn't portrayed as an easy or clean break, realistic to how difficult it can be for abuse victims to separate from their abusers permanently. Permanently presented a crucial step in Harley's evolution from victim to survivor, eventually thriving as her person. Finding true love. The Poison Ivy connection, one of the most significant relationships in Harley's life, began as a friendship and blossomed into something much deeper. Poison Ivy, born Pamela Lillian Isley, first entered Harley's life during Batman, the animated series, where their friendship was established as a key part of both characters' development. What made their relationship special was the stark contrast it provided to Harley's toxic dynamic with the Joker. Where the Joker was manipulative and cruel, Poison Ivy was supportive and caring. Where the Joker saw Harley as expendable, Ivy recognized her worth and potential. Their friendship was built on mutual respect, shared experiences as outcasts, and genuine affection for each other. The romantic potential between these two characters simmered beneath the surface for over 2 decades before finally being acknowledged in the comics. Their first kiss occurred in DC Comics. Bombshells number 42, a moment that represented more than 20 years of character development and fan speculation finally coming to fruition. The beauty of the Harley-Ivy relationship lies in its evolution across different comic book storylines and continuities. In some stories, they're portrayed as a married couple, having found lasting happiness together. In others, they maintain a deep friendship with romantic undertones. This flexibility has allowed writers to explore different aspects of their connection while consistently portraying it as one of the healthiest and most positive relationships in Harley's life. Their relationship also represents important LGBTQ+ representation in mainstream comics, showing that love and partnership can take many forms and that healing from trauma is possible with the right support system. Breaking into Hollywood. Harley's live-action journey. Harley Quinn's transition to live-action cinema marked a new chapter in the character's cultural impact. Margot Robbie's portrayal, beginning with 2016's Suicide Squad, introduced Harley to a massive mainstream audience, though the film itself received mixed to negative reviews from critics. Suicide Squad presented a version of Harley that was deeply entangled with the Joker, showcasing their toxic relationship in a way that many fans found problematic, as it seemed to romanticize their abusive dynamic rather than critique. However, Robbie's charismatic performance captured Harley's essential spirit, her unpredictability, her humor, and her underlying vulnerability. The real breakthrough came with 2020's Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. This film finally gave Harley the character development that fans had been craving, showing her life after leaving the Joker and her journey toward independence and self-discovery. The movie emphasized themes of female empowerment, friendship, and breaking free from toxic relationships, core elements that had defined Harley's comic book evolution. Robbie's final portrayal of the character came in 2020. Directed by James Gunn. This film struck a better balance between Harley's comedic and dramatic elements, presenting her as a fully realized character with her agency and moral code, even if that code was uniquely her own. The evolution of evil. From villain to anti-hero, Harley Quinn's moral journey represents one of the most interesting character arcs in modern comics. During her time as the Joker's partner, she was unquestionably a villain, participating in numerous serious crimes including robbery, assault, and murder. Her actions during this period were often driven by her desire to please the Joker rather than any personal criminal ambition, but the harm caused was very real. The transition from villain to anti-hero wasn't immediate or simple. As Harley began